a couple days ago, there was a sort of Flash-style game released that, if you heard the gaming media talk about it, was the second coming of Jesus. This was a Flash game that allowed you to beat or punch in the face Hitler, Richard Spencer, and Milo Yiannopoulos. Now, I have absolutely no issue with this game existing at all. None whatsoever. About 8-9 years ago, there was another game very similar to this where you could punch Jack Thompson in the face. I got no issue with that existing at all. About 4.5 years ago, there was another game made. Again, very, very similar. Almost the exact same thing. Where you could punch Anita Sarkeesian in the face. I got no issue with that existing at all. Apparently, that one the gaming media took issue with, though. The one where you could punch Hitler, Spencer, and Yiannopoulos, loved it. Absolutely loved it. The one where you could punch Thompson, I don't remember a peep. But the one where you punch Sarkeesian, oh, that was, and I'm pretty well quoting, literal assault. You might notice what's going on here. The gaming media has this really, really bad habit of giving extreme double standards towards their inner circle. They will consistently express one thing one way, but if someone in their inner circle has something happen or is wanting to promote or do something, their opinions suddenly flip completely. Now, I will say, though, that as far as I am aware and have seen throughout the years, Sarkeesian is not really a part of the media's inner circle. She's more of a sacred cow that they prop up on an altar and worship as though was a god. If you think I'm exaggerating, go to Polygon and see how they react anytime she uploads a video on her Feminist Frequency channel. If that's not deity worship, I don't know what is. This has always been something that has annoyed me, and it's happened for years. It's really easy to backtrack whenever this kind of stuff happens. Take the recent example that I mentioned before with the game Lady Killer in a Bind. A game that got onto Steam completely uncensored, largely in part because the gaming media gave her so much coverage and personally campaigned for it to be released on Steam uncensored. And I know that it's because of this, because recently the developer of HuniePop sent an email to Steam asking if they could release their game fully uncensored now due to Lady Killer in a Bind being completely uncensored. And Steam said no, their policy on sex and other such things has not changed. So you have HuniePop, a game with nudity and sexual images up to and including full intercourse images, along with a very rich, detailed game versus and they had to be censored, versus Lady Killer in a Bind, a visual novel that at one point had, and I'll explain this one in a minute, had a scene where you were raping a lesbian straight. Full, uncensored, full exposure to this, that was apparently within Steam's rules. Raping a lesbian straight and seeing it was within their rules for sex. Okay. I know you're bullshitting, Steam. And I say had because a few of the game's players complained about that specific storyline, and the developer removed it. A game, a sex visual novel game, released fully uncensored on Steam, and the developer censored it herself. Okay. There's another example a few years back, late 2014, early 2015. Two Kickstarters, relatively similar. Both kind of card game things in the vein of Cards Against Humanity. Both involved, for lack of a better term, tentacle hentai. One was made in a Japanese anime art style. I forget if it actually was from Japan or if it was just in that style. The gaming media called that rape. I'm not kidding. You can look it up. Another one, very similar, but in a Western art style, they praised and said it's not as bad as you would think. The one that they praised was made by a person that runs in their circles that they are friends with. I can go on and on about this kind of stuff. It pisses me off that this keeps happening all the time. I'm used to double standards at this point. This is blatant favoritism. And they don't stop. And then they wonder why people get pissed at the media. I view that all of these things have a right to exist. It shouldn't be, well, this was made by my friend, so it's cool, but the other ones, nah, they're terrible. I don't see that. I hate that, for example, the Lady Killer in a Bind game got censored by the dev. I don't agree with that. I think that it should be left uncensored. I don't agree that one face-punching game is bad, but the other two are good. That one I really argue against, that one is bad and the other two are okay. Because you can't really work like that. If one is literal assault, then they would all have to be literal assault because they're all the same fucking thing. Well, how would you feel if someone made a game where they punched your face? Two things. First, I wouldn't give a damn because I have a very punchable face. Feel free to take that out of context. You're welcome. But second, and more importantly, it wouldn't matter because shit ain't real, yo. It's fake. It's digital. It does not impact me. Haha. So, I'm asking the media, who will not listen, I'm sure, to see that you're doing this and stop. Realize that you have this issue with really elevating your inner circle or people you like and shitting on everything else. At least stick to the same standard. I'm not asking much here. Why is this so hard? Really? Anyway, this has just been Math Machine ranting about the media and their buddies, and one sacred cow to throw in, because why not? Peace out.